For a time, it seemed like Square Enix was trying to fight against the suggestion that they had plans to update Final Fantasy VII, inarguably the most popular and well-remembered game in the Final Fantasy franchise. And yet, one of the funniest moments during E3 in 2005 was when they got up on stage to present a tech demo featuring the opening cutscene of the game. The punchline to the presentation, as reported in an IGN article at the time, was this. Quote, Yoichi Wada was quick to point out that this wasn't a teaser or a hint of any intention to do a remake of Final Fantasy VII, but explained that Final Fantasy titles were indeed guaranteed to come to the PS3 one day. Good joke. Roll snare. For all the hemming, hawing, and coy whispers, fantasy is about to become a reality with the upcoming release of Final Fantasy VII Remake in April. To hype up an already expectant crowd and sow interest to those lurking on the fence, PlayStation 4 owners can download an 8-gig demo set during Cloud's first mission with Avalanche, the ragtag eco-terrorist organization that's trying to sabotage a Mako reactor to stop the Shinra company from bleeding the planet dry. The demo expands on what I played at E3 last year. Instead of jumping right into the battle with the Guard Scorpion, it begins with a pitch-perfect recreation of the now classic intro sequence where we catch a glimpse of Aerith before the camera pulls far away to show the megacity of Midgar in all its high-definition glory. We zoom back in to follow a train as it pulls into a station outside the Section 1 reactor where Cloud, Barret, Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge begin their infiltration of the Shinra facility. The demo dazzles and delights from the start. Memories from over 20 years ago came flooding back as I explored Midgar like never before, moving through full 3D recreations of areas originally presented as dynamic pre-rendered backgrounds. The characters, and enemies too, look fantastic now that they resemble actual humans instead of the squat hodgepodge of polygons. Each character retains many of the costume flares that were designed to separate them out from the crowd. And this is the point where I whisper to you that up until now, I had no idea Jessie was a woman.
Soldier operator?
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now? He's got balls, this, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he isn't a soldier anymore. Still, he's a professional, unlike the rest of us. I'm glad to have him.
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Before you send Cloud in to make mincemeat out of Shinra security guards and robots, you'll be presented with different control options tied to the game's difficulty. The average-sounding normal mode is how Final Fantasy VII Remake is meant to be played. It takes some getting used to, but it's worth it to have a large degree of control over the character's actions during the battle. The alternative is Classic Mode, an awkwardly modernized copy of the old menu-based gameplay of the original game. Party members move on their own during a fight, pretty much waiting for you to tell them to do something. After Cloud and Barret defeat the Guard Scorpion in a chaotic and slickly presented boss fight, the bomb Cloud planted at the base of the reactor hardly makes a dent, and instead, in a surprising new twist on the story, is destroyed by security bots under the orders of President Shinra, who is shown viewing the entire encounter from the comfort of his lavish office. The demo ends here, and I'm left chomping at the bits to find out how this change is going to affect the dynamic of Avalanche, considering that they can't righteously claim responsibility for the attack unless Barret pulls the "let's lie and say we did it so we can spur the people into action" card. Whatever ends up happening in this new reversion of the story, I appreciate Square Enix for making changes like this because it subverts the expectation. After all, if I wanted to play the exact same game from over 20 years ago, I'd fire that up on my PC, Switch, PlayStation Vita, or PlayStation 4.
That's it. Let's do this.
I could have done that on my own.
Sure you could. idea. Bird.
I came away from the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo feeling pretty jazzed and electrified for the full version. I'm really pleased with the art direction, the attention to detail, and new orchestration of Nobuo Uematsu's beloved soundtrack. Keeping me grounded, however, is the sobering reminder that what is coming out in April reprints a fraction of the entire game. That I won't get to see many of my favorite places, monsters, and bosses until really who knows when. As sad as that makes me, I'm determined not to let that spoil the fun I expect to have returning to the game I still really care about after all these years.
All right, come on.